camera, but you can look over here too. But we're right here too. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Let everyone in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so blessed today to have such an inspiring young teen with us. And you guys all know how passionate I am about, empowering teens and highlighting teens because they just inspire me so much. So first, we're going to do a little bit of intro of myself, and then we'll do an intro of her. And then we'll do some takeaways from the Growth Con, and then she will share her story. Super powerful. Those of you guys that got to meet her, you know what I'm talking about. So my name is Alex, and I will be your host. A little bit about me in this mastermind. It really stemmed from the time that I was living in Peru. I didn't really know. I didn't really know at the time what I had going. Right? I talked about passive income. I talked about real estate investing a little bit to people, but it wasn't until I got to live in Peru for a whole year and not have to work. All I was doing was just playing music, hanging out, hiking, doing these things. And my real estate was paying for my life. I literally could just retire and probably for the rest of my life, just hang out because of real estate. However, I realized that I needed to teach people what I was doing. The concept, the mindset, the how-to of investing in real estate and creating passive income, how important that is. And part of all of that is this giving back, is the giving back that brings all the fulfillment. And Ever here that I met this week, she's doing it at the age of 14. It's incredible. When I was 14, what was I doing? How old are you? 14, what grade are you in?
14. I'm in 8th grade.
8th grade. Oh my God. 8th grade, I was totally worried about if I was gonna make it to the basketball team, and I was worried about, the middle school dances and who I was gonna go to the 8th grade dance with. And she's over here changing the world. So
oh yeah.
Nick has been someone that's been inspiring me. You guys know Nick. He's a 16-year-old that I work with. He's over here, set this whole thing up and made this all possible for me. I feel like a lot of what I've accomplished last year really was as a result of Nick. So helping me with the social media, helping me with the CRM, just overall being the person that helps me with the parts that I'm weak at. So a big takeaway from GrowthCon is to recognize and be aware of your weak spots so that you can, and being humble enough to know that there is areas in which I'm not good at something and admitting to it and then getting some support and getting some help. Okay, so we'll get into the takeaways of GrowthCon in a little bit, but I want Ever to introduce herself a little and tell us about your mission, your journey.
Yes, so my name is Ever MATSON. I'm 14 years old, aka kidpreneur, and my mission is to become a young millionaire, but my other mission is to use business as a force for good. And recently, me and Alex just raised $100,000 for Feeding America at the 10X Growth Con. So now my new goal is to raise $1 million for 10 million meals.
10 million meals. She's talking about feeding 1 million people in 8th grade. I'm like, I always hear previous generations saying that the next generation is screwed. But it's people like Nick, it's people like Ever that makes me really think the world is in good hands. I don't know many people my age. I don't think there was one person in my 8th grade class that was doing fundraising for feeding America. Not one. So the world is in good hands. That's number one thing. So tell us a little more about your journey. Just share with the audience.
So my dad had a nonprofit called Project Rescue Party when I was 7 years old, and I would always go to help him out. And I decided that I wanted to do something like he was doing. And I experienced all of these kids. They didn't have homes. They didn't have a place to eat or a nice warm bed to go to like how I did. And I'm like, I need to do something about this because that's what us entrepreneurs do. So instead of just being sad, I decided to create my solution, which is called These Suckers Save Lives. Maybe go grab a lollipop so I could show them. So
Nick, letting people in.
yes. So it's called These Suckers Save Lives. And ever since I was 7 years old, I had a mission to raise 1 million meals for Feeding America with my lollipop charity. And it was amazing. I went from selling lollipops at coffee shops to speaking on stage at conferences with entrepreneurs like Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, Damon John from Shark Tank, Ryan Dice. And it was just amazing. It went up from there. And recently, one of my biggest heroes ever, The Rock, bought out all of my lollipops. He donated $700 to my cause. So I decided to take $7 from his donation and I flipped it all the way up to $96,000 in 21 days. And my mission was to raise the entire $100,000 at 10x, since 10x is all about 10xing whatever you're doing. And I'm like, I'm going to raise the full 100K at 10x. And then I got to meet Alex, and Alex took me from the 96,000 to 4K. And we raised the entire 100K at 10x, which is amazing.
First of all, she said that she saw, kids that were homeless and were hungry, and she said, "Us entrepreneurs, this is what we do." Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
That problem turned into, like, I found a problem and I turned it into my purpose.
That is the golden nugget right here for all of you guys that are here. She said, I found the problem and I turned it to my purpose. We need to, somebody take notes of that. Write that down. We need to coin that. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. Someone said boom. Yeah. So you said you spoke on stage with Gary Vee and
Yes.
you spoke on other stages. Tell us a little more about how that happened.
Yeah, so my very first speaking engagement was at Traffic and Conversion, which is crazy how this actually happened. I was actually going to speak on stage at my talent show and share with all of my classmates about my project. And I kind of got kicked out from the talent show because at the time, my charity was called Child Hunger Sucks. And they did not like that name at my school. So they're like, you gotta go. And it's like, okay, this is definitely the school system. We can tell. And my dad was like, okay, we can just go. It's fine. And I was like, no, I want to support my classmates. And then after that, we were like scrolling on Instagram and we found Traffic and Conversion. So I was like, let's go, Dad. What other amazing place is there to be than an amazing conference with amazing people? I mean, it's better than a school talent show. So we went there and I straight up just asked the owners, if Ryan Dice and his friend, if I could just speak on stage. And they let me. They said, okay, you got to be here at 8 a.m. And as an 8-year-old, I was like, 8 a.m. So I woke up at 8 a.m. and I got to speak. My very first speaking engagement was in front of 6,000 people.
Oh my God. At 8 years old?
At 8 years old.
And you're 14 now.
And I'm 14 now.
Okay. So was it scary for you to go and ask to speak on stage?
Honestly, no, because I'm definitely a people person, as you can tell. So I think it was pretty easy for me. But once you're on stage in front of the people, you just have to think about it like none of them can speak English. You have to make sure you're pronouncing your words right, pronunciation, and really make sure that they understand exactly what you're saying.
Who taught you all this? I mean, at 8 years old, who taught you all this?
Well, one, my dad, and all of my mentors like Gary Vaynerchuk, Damon John from Shark Tank, Grant Cardone. But I'd say my biggest mentor was probably Gary Vee.
Gary Vee.
And he was the first entrepreneur that I got to meet.
Gary Vee's a great storyteller. He talks a lot about telling stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me more about your dad as a mentor.
Yeah. So my dad is like my permanent Uber driver. He takes me everywhere, which is awesome. And I learned stuff by myself, but he's my biggest supporter. Like he's actually right there. He'll take me everywhere. He films everything for me, and he's just like he's like my partner in crime. He's right there by my side the entire time,
Yeah.
which means a lot because a lot of parents, they aren't like that. And the biggest mentor in your life is
Yeah.
your dad and my mom. I love my mom.
I mean, I got a chance to see your dad. Your dad is just doing a phenomenal job and
Yes.
supporting you 100% of the way, and even prepping you to, for when you have speaking engagements.
Yes.
So some of the things that occurred, he said, hey, you should go talk to this person. You should go show this video to this person. And you just get up and go right away. Yeah. So there's no point in your life that you found that scary. Really?
If I'm being honest, no. But I mean, I feel like maybe it's just a blessing because I just love talking to people, and I just don't find it scary because we're all just connected.
We're all just connected. Another mic drop right here. We're all just connected.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I got a chance to just from the moment that I witnessed her, and my friend Natalia, she's on this call too. She actually approached her first, and at GrowthCon, and I just found I'll share something about GrowthCon and a little bit about my mindset when I was there. So I had told the guys, the group that I was going with, hey, make sure that you go and meet 2 or 3 people. Cultivate that relationship. You don't need to go there and meet 500 people. Okay, don't have the fear of missing out and then run around and just have quick contacts with a bunch of people. This is what happens to most. Like, they don't really actually cultivate a good relationship, but they did receive 100 business cards and 100 phone numbers, right? And when you go back home, there's like, who was this person? Who was that person? What was this card? Right. And I said, listen, just focus on building 2 or 3 relationships. And when I met you guys, I realized that this was the only relationship that I needed to cultivate. I hung out with your dad. I hung out with you the entire time, fully trusting that my team was doing the same thing. And you got a chance to go in to see, who did you see when you were in there?
I got to see Mark Wahlberg. And what was funny is he was talking about his dad also being he was a huge supporter to him, which is awesome because it totally related to me. And I got to see Jesse Itzler and Sarah Blakely.
Nice.
And what's his name? The one
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
And see Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at these conferences, I was telling my personal trainer actually came to the meetup, and he was like, my goal is to have 10 people sign up for my app, and my goal is to make $10,000 a month. That was his 2023 goal. And what he was doing was just going around training people individually. And I was like, listen, just come to these conferences. He came to the meetup and had 6 people sign up for his workout, for his fitness app.
Oh, wow.
If he just went to conferences, and you go to a lot of conferences, right?
Yes, I love conferences.
She loves conferences. Everybody should love conferences.
For entrepreneurs.
For entrepreneurs, she said. So if you, like, the one thing that I've taken away this last year was go to a lot of conferences, because as you go to conferences, you are surrounded by people that really help you make things possible, help you see things, a new perspective. I mean, getting to hang out with Ever and her dad, it's just an inspiration for me looking at my own goals, because she was like, I raised $100,000 in 22 days. And I'm over here thinking about raising capital for multifamily deals and how much money I'm going to make this year. And my goals might be too small. If you have a goal, what's your new goal now?
My goal is to raise $1 million in 7 months for 100 million meals. Or sorry, 10 million meals.
Her goal is to raise $1 million in 7 months. That's her goal. When I was 14 years old, I did not think my goal was to like make $100 a week or something.
Possible.
There it is again. Another mic drop. So yeah, along the way, continue with the story. Like after Gary Vee, after going on stage, after meeting The Rock,
10x conference.
10X conference.
10 like
How did you get here? What was your takeaway from this event?
Oh, that's a very good question. There was actually a lot of good takeaways, but the number one takeaway I'd say, I really liked what Jesse Itzer was saying and Sarah Blakely about family, because that's like one of the biggest things ever is family. They're your number one supporters, but I really like how they were saying to have like a family meeting every single week to make sure like everything is on point, because you need to, one of the biggest things that people should have is a schedule instead of just going all over the place, like make a schedule. And I loved what Sarah was saying just about being fearless. That was really cool.
Well, you exemplify fearless. Every time I see you, I'm like, oh my God. So there's probably so many people here watching that face a lot of these fears of just speaking to people, raising their hand, speaking out. You know, my Grant Cardone was at the conference, and every night he would be at the blackjack table, and people would be afraid to go up to him to say hi or to take a picture and miss out on an opportunity. Like, what would you say to that?
Okay, this everybody says this, but this is truly the key thing. You only live once. Like you only live once, so you really got to live your life to the fullest. You're gonna have regrets. Like make like a bucket list of crazy things that you want to do, because you only have one life and you want to make sure you just do everything possible that you can do in that life. And there's 8 billion people in the world, so who actually really cares if you just like, even if you mess up, like people aren't going to be thinking about that all day. Oh my gosh, she messed up when she was talking to me. Like, you know?
Yeah, well, such great, like so much wisdom coming from a 14-year-old. Like I don't know where did all this like come from? Look, people even saying words of wisdom here. Like,
Definitely school system. That's for sure.
definitely not the school system.
Conferences, like education is a huge thing, and I'm not saying education is bad. I'm just saying school is teaching you to become an employee and work at Arby's. So you can be going to these like conferences instead and learning knowledge that's actually gonna get you somewhere in your life instead of being a janitor at McDonald's. You know. So
And nothing wrong with that, but if you're a janitor at McDonald's, take some time and go to some conferences.
just go to some, because those conferences will change your life.
Okay, so what conferences have you been to?
Okay, let's see. Secret Knock, gotta go there.
Secret.
Human Gathering, it's on the Forbes list actually. 10X, let's see. Prosperity Camp, Traffic and Conversion. What was it called? It was a gala. Do you remember the New York? FinCon. Let's see, VidCon. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of them.
How many have you gone to? About.
Maybe 25. 25?
25. She's gone to more conferences than I have. And I talk about conferences all the time. If you want to make 10x your income, go to conferences all year.
Oh yeah.
Like just leave your job. Okay, don't quote me on this, but you could just go to 10 conferences this year, and I guarantee what you're gonna learn, okay, and what you're gonna learn is gonna change your life, but also your income is going to reflect that growth. Because you may be thinking, if you're working your 9-to-5 job all the time, or in your sales job, you have a box in which how much money you think you can make. And then you equate your own self-value to the amount of money. How much is time worth to you? Right? For her, she's 14 and she's gone to 25 conferences. She's like, I'm going to raise $1 million in the next 7 months and donate it. So she's going to become a millionaire and then donate it. That's her goal.
People think you're crazy when you like say that, but it's like these conferences really bring your mindset to like a whole nother level. It's like when you listen to these speakers on stage, anything is possible. Like, you know,
I think people around you may say you're crazy, but if anybody thinks her goals are crazy, okay, or thinks that it's not crazy, put an E forever in the chat for like you're not crazy for thinking that.
yeah, goals are a huge thing.
Look at all these. And if a 14-year-old can declare $1 million in 7 months and not be crazy, majority of you are like, that's not crazy, totally feasible, then why isn't it possible for you? And if you could raise $1 million, then how many conferences could you go to? You know, one of my favorite quotes is by Jim Rohn. It says that your income, or let's say your money that you can raise, does not far exceed your personal growth. And so personal growth, these conferences, tell me about, what do you think about personal growth and conference?
Well, honestly, like how you were talking about earlier, it's the people that you meet and you can like at the there's so many key things to conferences that are just amazing. They should write that on the flyers. This is what you're gonna get from these conferences. Connections, my really good tea, investments in your business, and like partners. Like just think now, we met at a conference. Now we're inside of your house talking about how we're gonna raise $1 million and change the world. Just one connection. I mean, think of it this way. This may not make sense, but it's like 100 pennies opposed to $1. I'm, you know.
Yes, that's another mic drop. So we're all connected. School's a waste of time. School's not a waste of time, but you know.
The parents that are watching this are probably gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, please do not say that." My dad and I always talk about like to my friends how homeschool, because I'm homeschooled. Homeschool's a life changer. And then all the kids go, "I'm homeschooled," and the parents are like, "Oh my gosh, you just said that in front of my kid. Now they want to be homeschooled."
Tell me, this is actually really interesting. So being homeschooled, how do you like what do you love about it? And do you feel like you're missing out on anything?
I actually don't think I'm missing out on anything. And I really like it. For example, my homeschool is only 1 day a week, but I get to go in person and I get to see my friends on that day and I get to learn every day since it's like the things that we're doing. So no matter what, I'm always learning something, but I also have like a balance. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm also a 14-year-old kid. So I get to like hang out with my
One
friends
day
a
a
lot.
week you're a kid, and then 6 days a week.
That's what I'm talking about, balance. Like I get to hang out with my friends a lot,
Mhm.
like the fun side of things. They're both really fun.
Yeah.
And I get to hang out with my friends and I get to meet Gary Vee and I get to hang out with Samantha, you know.
Yes, that's amazing. Homeschool. So I never was homeschooled, and so I don't really know what it's like. But what does that mean? You go to school once a week?
Yes.
You go to school, or you guys go to somebody's home together?
No, to school.
Oh,
So basically it's like I don't think I'm allowed to share the name on here.
don't share
Yeah.
names, but you can talk about it.
So basically it's online half of the time. And then you get to go in person 1 day a week, but you can go any day you want. I just choose to go 1 day a week. And so the rest is just learning online. And there's like little courses that you take.
Uh-huh.
It's like mini entrepreneur courses by the school system. And it's like learning online half of the time, but you get to also go in person whenever you want.
So you go to conferences, and then do you learn online while you're on the road? Do you go to school?
Yeah, like when I'm on the way up, one thing that my mom is good at is like making sure that I'm like doing it instead of just learning about all of this stuff. That's why my mom and dad are kind of like two different people. But yeah, so I do it mainly like in the car or at night, and then I just balance it out like a
Okay.
schedule.
Where do people find you on social media?
You can go to my Instagram at @evermatson, my TikTok at @evermatson. It's all @evermatson. And then my YouTube, which is like in progress, it's called Serial Entrepreneur Show.
And your LinkedIn, which
Is at @evermatson.
awesome. So anybody that have any questions for our young kid entrepreneur here, post it in the chat or, raise your hand.
I can't see without my glasses.
You can mention the books you read and the courses you take.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So okay. Let's talk a little bit about what other things have helped you in your growth. Because you literally have like an entrepreneur mindset. And I don't know. If I closed my eyes and never met you and you were talking to me, besides your voice and your enthusiasm, I may not know that you're 14 at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me how that happened. What's the growth? Besides the conferences, what other things added to your growth?
So I actually got to take one of my biggest mentors, Billy Gina's marketing 16-week marketing course, which is amazing. I learned how to do like ClickFunnels and landing pages and how to use like GoDaddy, like the website makers and stuff. So that was absolutely incredible. I had so many key takeaways from that. And yeah, so courses are a huge thing. And then I read like business books. Like my favorite business book is Shoe Dog, and it's in Phil Knight's story is kind of similar to mine, except for I don't own Nike or have a multi-billion-dollar business. That's coming up though. So the books are just incredible, like the things that you learn from them. Like Shoe Dog, you gotta read
Shoe
that
Dog,
book.
not you
Yes.
dog. Someone said you dog.
Shoe Dog. It's like a success to success story, and how he was like an underdog.
Yeah.
Kind of like me.
Mhm.
And now he's just at the top. Like if you go anywhere and mention Nike, everyone will be like, oh, I know that. I'm wearing the shoes right now.
Yeah.
So starting from nothing.
Okay. So you read books. So here's pretty much all successful people have a couple things in common. Is they seek knowledge, they seek growth. So they get their information, whether it's from learning at courses on courses or reading books, right? Mentorships. This is another thing that every single speaker at GrowthCon talked about is mentorship, including Tom Brady. Tom Brady mentioned Bill Belichick all the time as being his teacher. Okay, being a great teacher. Talked about what's his name? Drew Bledsoe, who was the quarterback before him. And now that he's got this huge job as a sports commentator on Fox, he's hired a speech coach. And he did not look like he needed a speech coach. Like when he was speaking on stage, he sounded really good. But, there's always that next level. People that are successful are always looking like, who's going to help me get it to the next level? Who's going to help me take it? And I think for you, what your next level is $1 million next 7 months. Who's going to help you get there? Who are your allies? Who's your power posse?
The people that I'm surrounding myself with,
Yeah.
because the people that you surround yourself with are number one, the people that you become, and number two are going to inspire you to become a better you. That's why you need to make sure that you have a powerful team by your side and powerful friends. Because if you're hanging out with the wrong people, then you're going to go down that route. But if you're hanging out with the right people, you're going to go up that route.
I mean, if we go and just pick up 8th graders from all the different top schools, I don't think they're going to be dropping knowledge like this, so homeschooling worked, going to conferences worked, reading books worked. Thank you. Yeah, and I definitely am going to endorse her, and I will stand for her to make this $1 million happen in the next 7 months. I will do whatever it takes for me.
I'm going to become a millionaire at 14 and give my first million all away.
What?
That's my passion.
Yeah. So, okay. I just want to share a little bit of my experience at GrowthCon. Okay. So I was feeling a little bit, I was having some scarcity thoughts, and I talk about abundance all the time. If you guys see my YouTube videos or my Instagrams, whenever I'm in your face, I'm talking about abundance. I'm talking about faith. I'm talking about trust. And the whole time at GrowthCon, I couldn't shake this scarcity thought away around money. Okay, because we usually throw meetups at different events that we go to. We want to kind of whoever we meet at the conference, let's come together and have a meetup afterwards. And it usually costs us about $1,000 to throw a meetup. But in Vegas, okay, obviously it was like 4 times that price. So I'm like, I'm about to have this meetup. It's costing me 4 times what I pay in Miami or in Houston or wherever I go when I throw the conference. And I'm having this like scarcity thought. And then I meet Ever and I hear about her goals of raising $100,000 and she was 5,000 short. And I was like, 100% it's happening at my meetup, and I guaranteed it. I was like, I guarantee it's going to happen, because she kept saying, I hope it's going to happen this weekend. And I was like, no, it's definitely happening.
To mindset, because that's what I'm surrounding myself with.
So she started going around saying, I will, and I'm going to, and at the event, I was ready. If people weren't going to step up, I was ready to cough out another $5,000 when I was having scarcity conversations about spending a couple $1,000s on a meetup. And so when that became my mission, like of charity, of being supporting someone like Ever, all of a sudden, all that scarcity thought went away. And I was ready to double down on that spending on the weekend. So the mindset is so important. And we talk about this all the time in our Legends group, like charity, the importance of having a charity mindset. And you at your age doing that, I just, I'm so inspired and I'm so grateful that we met, because I feel like my life has changed meeting her.
Maybe we'll get sponsored by Wolfgang Puck.
Wolfgang Puck, that's where we met.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Wolfgang Puck. So does anybody have any questions, thoughts? Yes. Outwardly focus is the way that you get out of your own stuff. I think somebody
talk about the guy with the wallet.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Lance. Let's talk about Lance real quick. Oh, there goes my phone.
And you just bought it. Oh my God. Yes, so Lance, we were in the middle, Alex just put me up on stage and I was talking about my mission, my why, and I was like, we're only 4,000 short. And then he just walked up and he handed me the $4,000. Thank you so much, Lance. Like, that was amazing.
Yeah, there's a question, and we'll get to that question right there. Ever advice on naturally shy, not outgoing teens who want to be entrepreneurs? So wait, hold that question for a second. I want to finish up with Lance. So Lance, it's so important that you share these messages. Okay, when you're passionate about something and you're like, this is the cause that I'm going for, and you share it out there, you're calling forth allies, people that also believe in the cause. Like Lance, he was also homeless at one point. As soon as you talked about that, it really touched him. And he came up and he took out a stack of $100 bills like this, including some like gambling receipts from like Caesars and MGM. All of it just gave it right to her. And
because he connected with that background.
Because he connected to that story
from like an in need like family and stuff. So he connected to exactly what I was talking about, and like you were saying, it clicked with him.
And it was an amazing, inspirational thing to see. But Lance also shared how he was feeling like he didn't feel very good for like a couple days. He didn't want to gamble. Usually he just gambles. So he didn't gamble. He was just sitting around, and he didn't feel very good. And as soon as that happened, like all the energy came in, he gave that money. He felt really great. So this is another like just example of how outward focus, being able to give, like really gives something to it really fulfills us in a way that not many other things do, and you've discovered at such a young age, and you're an entrepreneur, first million that you're going to raise, you're giving it away.
Yes.
And let's hear past her bedtime. Well, it's actually only 4:36 over here.
That's Vegas has been like 12:30. I apologize, Mom, but we got to get this stuff done,
So somebody asked, an advice that you would give to other teens who are shy and are not outgoing, but they want to learn entrepreneurship, what would you say to them? Or maybe what would you say to the parent?
Um, I would say for the parent, because this is huge, introduce your kid more into like business books and stuff, because this doesn't really require talking to people, but I'll get into that as well. Introduce them to business books because that's something huge they can take away from that. And like once they start discovering like all of the entrepreneurs, then they'll start having like their favorites. Like mine are Gary Vaynerchuk, Ed Cardone, all these amazing people, Billie Jean. They'll start having their favorites, and then they'll say, "Mom, I want to meet them," or "Dad, I want to meet them." So then that will get them into going to conferences. And then that will get them into like more engaging more, because you see everyone around you talking to people and it just inspires you. It gives you like a little light bulb. Like,
So,
oh,
so the
that's
parents
awesome.
should take their kids to conferences.
The parents should take their kids to conferences
Okay, so that's one right there, and
and
it's
business books.
and read business books. Okay, now for the kid, for the teen, like if you saw this teen and you saw that he wanted to be in business and be an entrepreneur, but very shy and unwilling to like go up to people, not outgoing, not a people person like you, what would you say?
Okay. I would say one of the huge things for someone who is in business, like for example, I'm in charity, but
Mhm.
someone who's in like business, work. This is I can't remember who said this. I think it was Snoop Dogg actually. Don't always take advice from Snoop Dogg, but in this case, you should work really, really hard at a young age so you can enjoy the fruits of the benefit when you're older. Then you can retire early, and then you can be able to like give to your parents as well. You could retire your parents early, but work really, really hard, and then you can enjoy everything at an older age,
Mhm.
you know?
Just so way beyond her years, the things that she's saying. So you can retire your parents.
Yeah, that's one of my goals.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, and I ask this question a lot to people. Impact. Okay, what does impact mean to you? And I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay. Providing impact to people, making like an impact on people's lives.
Well, yeah, just
Like,
making an
yeah,
impact. What does that
make
mean for you?
impact on people's lives. That means like providing something for them, like giving something to them. Like one of the big things that I was noticing is that I got to sleep in a nice bed when I was like younger, and these kids didn't. So I wanted to provide an impact on their lives by helping them change their life
Wow.
around.
Like
So
such a good definition for impact.
yeah, that's how I really like to use the word impact with impacting other people's lives.
Mhm. Speaking of impact, self plug real quick. End of April, we are throwing a virtual conference called Legends Impact. And it is about a lot of different people coming together and sharing what impacted them and how are they impacting others. Okay, and there will be many, many free offerings. Like it's going to be such a killer conference. We already have like really, really great speakers, and I'm going to ask Ever to be on that virtual conference as well. And look at that. I know she's going to say yes because she's not afraid. You know, she's not afraid to be in front of people. She's not afraid to talk. 8 years old, speaking in front of 6,000 people. I mean, I have yet to do that. So.
You guys
What?
should come to this conference because it's gonna change your life. Just like because conferences do change your life.
Yeah. And it's virtual. You do it at home.
And it's virtual. You could stay in your pajamas and still learn amazing advice on how to become a millionaire.
Okay, let's see. I got some more questions for you. Where do you think you've made the biggest impact?
That's a good question. Providing mentors for kids in need. So a lot of this is like meals is great. That's amazing because kids need to eat. But providing a mentor for kids, just like how we were talking about, providing a mentor for them, that's what's going to impact their life. Because they're going to be able to have unforgettable education that is going to be able to turn their life around. Like the famous quote, and instead of give a man a fish, teach a man to fish. So it's like the mentorship that's one of the biggest things that's going to truly help them.
Yeah. What is your what is your strategy now? Like if you're from like today forward, you want to get to $1 million raised, 10 million meals. What is your strategy of getting there now?
I think my strategy is going to be a bit similar to last time. So I raised $10,000 selling lollipops myself, and I'm gonna ask like entrepreneurs to flip it. Flipping is something huge that I discovered that really helps. So I'm gonna do something similar to that.
What does that mean, flipping it? You're flipping, how are you flipping it?
So like
Like houses?
just friend Jamil Domji, but like we're gonna be flipping a house together. But yeah, I'd say flipping is gonna help, just how I took the $7 and then I flipped it to the 96,000. Is I had entrepreneurs, like I sold a lollipop for $7,000, and then the $7,000 lollipop went to somebody donating another 10K, and then that 17,000 went to another, like, you know what I mean? Like
Wait, the one lollipop was just going?
yeah, it kept going. My friend Duke bought a $7,000 lollipop. Thank you, Duke. So it's just like you, especially as a kid, like your imagination is just like wild. So I have a bunch of ideas.
So you said Jamil?
Yes, Jamil Domji.
Yes.
You can check him out on Instagram.
Yeah, I
Let's
think
have
he probably knows him. I know Tech is in that sub 2
He
space.
said love to.
Yeah. Okay. Who's your favorite person that you met so far?
You?
Okay, besides me.
I gotta give it to Gary Vee.
Oh, I
I
knew
gotta
it.
give it to Gary Vee. I love Gary. He's awesome. Even though he's a little rough with like his words and stuff, Uncle Gary just is spitting
Uncle
facts.
Gary.
He just, it's like his entire brain is just correct information. And you gotta check out Gary Vee on Instagram. He's harsh because he tells the truth. Like you may not like what you're hearing, he'll be like, listen, you got to get your life together. And then in their mind, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear it. But you got to be told the truth sometimes.
Mhm.
He's the realest guy out there, you know?
Questions for her. So, this is a great opportunity for you guys to be inspired. Okay. Allow yourselves to be impacted by her story in such a way that it drastically shifts your life. Okay. So any questions from the chat?
Jessica said she loves Gary too.
You can
Gary's
put them down
awesome.
there.
Oh yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh, in 10 years?
24. That's still super young.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let me think. $1 million, 10. Okay. Honestly, I'm just gonna go as high as possible. Maybe have my charity just be beyond huge, like a Feeding America, since I'm donating it all to them, and then mine just becomes like a huge charity, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, these suckers save lives. I know that they can provide 10 meals for every dollar, and just have like a huge charity and be able to impact as many people's lives as possible.
Mhm.
That's my goal. And so far we've actually got to help, is it 30? I believe it's 30 women and children into like housing and stuff. And like
Wow.
seeing the smiles on these kids' faces when they get to like experience all these amazing things is just, it makes it worth everything.
What else gets you happy and enthusiastic? What do you do what does Ever do for fun?
Oh, for fun? I love dancing. I love dancing. And enthusiastic. I mean, like watching cat videos. You gotta watch cat videos sometimes. You know, those just like and monkey, you know, the monkey videos.
Videos.
There's like monkey videos and stuff like that. It's just like the pureness in the world.
Mhm, mhm.
And like watching Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Yes. Like stuff like that.
Awesome.
They'll take and watch cat videos and monkey videos.
Yes, you know,
Specifically
I've been
for
watching the
kids.
wrong ones. I've been watching sharks and lions and stuff, so and
Uh-oh.
alligators. I'm gonna have to switch that up. You know, Facebook has been targeting me with those type, but I love animals too. So you know what? Watch some more monkey and cat videos. And
It's dancing, candy. That's like everything you need in life. You gotta get like TikTok,
Oh god.
Facebook. Yeah, exactly.
All the teens over here ragging on me for using Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you even have a Facebook?
No,
No. Okay.
Facebook. Wait, I do. I made it like 6 years ago.
You got somebody's in the waiting room. Okay, let's see what else.
Cat videos at $1 million.
Best advice from your dad.
Best advice from my dad. There's so many.
To tell you,
Tell them right now.
you can say it, but
Oh yeah.
the first, I think it's the two most important days.
Don't. Oh yeah.
of your life.
The two most. Yeah, the day you find out why, and the two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And then number 2, this is like a little bonus. Don't tell anyone we're doing a bonus, but don't be whoa.
I thought you were gonna say this. We just came from Grant Cardone. It's kind of like, don't be a little. Yeah, I did for a second.
You know it all, be a learn it all, but don't. Yeah, don't.
Okay. Best advice from your mom.
My mom always teaches me because like sometimes my friends, or not my friends, that'd be really bad. Sometimes you'll get like made fun of for like your videos and stuff. But my mom always tells me to think of the positive. Like there's so much positive and people will just focus on the negative. They'll be like, oh my gosh, I spilled coffee on my like pants today, you know? But instead you could be having a different mindset, like how we're talking about mindset. I woke up today. Oh my gosh, I'm alive. It's another day. I have 2 legs, 2 arms, you know, like stuff like that. My mom always teaches me to just like be positive.
Yeah, actually, let me find I wrote down a note from somebody at the conference. Joe DeSena, the founder of Spartan, he also said that. You know, this is actually one of the biggest things that I took away from there is we have a tolerance for pain. He did a chart, a line chart, a graph chart, whatever you call those. But you know, the thing that goes like this. There is expectations versus tolerance. So we once upon a time we had high tolerance for pain and low expectations. Now our world kind of has moved into high expectations and low tolerance. Any little thing people get really upset at. And he was actually saying, you know, when people ask him, how was your flight? People are like, how's your flight? He's like, we landed. You know, it's not about anything. We landed. We could have not landed. Right. And it's like what you just said. Hey, I got arms, I got legs. Yeah. So it's that shifting of perspective. It's just taking things into perspective.
Like take your perspective into a 14-year-old's, like just like focusing, oh my goodness, everything's amazing. You know? But as an adult, some people will be like, are you drunk? And they're just like, amazing. But you know, sometimes it's okay to think like that.
Yeah. It's probably preferred. You could probably think more like a 14-year-old and it might help you.
It's fun because you just think, I can do that. Nothing's impossible.
So let's see. What's your favorite motivational song?
Motivational song? I have it on my playlist. Wait 1 second. Let me pull it up.
The Rock.
Can't Hold Us Back.
Can't Hold Us
by-
Back.
Wait. Oh, sorry, Can't Hold Us.
Can't Hold Us.
By Malcolm Moore and Ryan Lewis. And wait, now it's playing. What? There's one last art. Oh, and Ray Dalton. That's a really good one.
All right. Well, you heard it.
Can't Hold Us.
Can't Hold Us. All right. My
And there's a song
Uh-huh.
called Legends.
legends.
This is how legends are made. It's a really good song.
Nice. Yeah, we play that too. Okay. My 11-year-old son is on right now. He is an entrepreneur as well. He started his own e-commerce store.
Oh, wow.
Best advice to give him to keep him motivated and focused.
Oh, that's a good question.
Go to conferences, read books.
Yes, definitely go to conferences. Definitely read books and definitely find like your top 5 mentors that you can learn from. For example, I think I already listed mine, but find your top 5 mentors that you can like just take like advice from them and apply it into what you're doing. So that's huge. You need to have mentors.
Mhm. What made you become like this, so interested in entrepreneurship?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We need to have like a counter how many times I've mentioned Gary Vaynerchuk. But like seriously, like my dad took me to my very first like entrepreneurship event, and I got to meet my very first entrepreneur, which was Gary Vaynerchuk. And I literally sprinted right up to him and I was like, Gary, what's your best advice for young entrepreneurs like me? And he was like, keep it freaking going. I won't say what he said. Keep it freaking going. Like, don't give up. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Be like Nike and just do it.
So go to conferences. Gary V. How old were you again?
How old was I, Gary V? 8.
8. And then she spoke on stage. Is it the same conference?
No, this was in LA at the Shoe Palace.
Oh, okay. She's gone to 25 conferences. We got some catching up to do. Who's gone to more conferences in here? If somebody's gone to more conferences, type it in the chat. Type how many you've gone to in the chat. What else do you want to do with their millions besides give it to charity? Retire your parents.
Yeah, definitely retire my parents. I want to make, this has also been a dream since I was little. I want to make a giant like building or like just like community houses or a hotel for the homeless and for just people in need who need it. Like they could even be just low income or like in debt and stuff. There's like a hotel or like a little, what are those things called? Like a neighborhood or like a cul-de-sac or whatever of just like housing for people who really need it, or a hotel. That'd be really cool.
Okay. It makes me want, like, I have a skill. I raise money and I put together deals and we buy multifamily deals or we buy storage deals. But like, right now, I kind of feel like what I should do is help you have that dream happen. You know, maybe we should raise some money to buy a hotel for the homeless. And then we have you run it.
That'd be awesome. And like, hotel.
If you want to work, if you want to donate,
It's the Legends Hotel. It's called Legends in the Making Hotel now. That's what it's called.
That's awesome. Wait, can you scroll up a little? There was a question I wanted to answer right there. Oh, so Hawk is at 3 conferences. So someday he'll grow up and be like Ever. Okay, 22 more conference, Hawk. Okay, you got a lot of catching up to do. I got a lot of catching up to do, but I'm committed to a lot of conferences this year.
You buy Hawk a book, send me a bit.
Oh yeah, a Texas community. Yeah, like a community
Yeah,
of just like people.
that's amazing. Okay, other questions. Come on, guys. We have a little bit more time for questions, and then we're gonna do a breakout room. Okay, and some of you guys may know this, but if you're new here, what we do at the end of these sessions for the last couple minutes is we break you guys out into rooms so you can meet each other. Like you actually get to do what we do at conferences and meet somebody here. Okay, because whatever you're challenged with or whatever you want to do and whatever is in the way, probably the person that you're going to meet in these rooms is going to be a crucial part of that. I've heard so many stories of people in these rooms just randomly meeting up and then finding out, oh my God, we live so close to each other, or oh my God, this person is exactly who we need to get this accomplished. Like those are stories that always happen.
What's your
next step and goals besides charity, and what you already mentioned? I think people really just want to know what you want to do with your money besides what you are already doing. Besides your dream, besides retiring your parents, like they're really poking at it. They're really testing.
well, yeah, my biggest thing is charity, but after that, I would like to have like different different like streams of income. Like my goal is to be one of the girls that I look up to. Her name is Christy Nova, and the other one's name is Sydney Holland. My one, I look up to them a lot, so my goal is to kind of be like them, like have a charity, but also have like multiple streams of income, like have like a business and stuff, like kind of like what you're doing and stuff, like have like multiple businesses, so that way I can be able to, when I have my next idea, I don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, I need so much money for this. I feel like when I have the idea for like the hotel, I could be like, okay, perfect, I could do that right now. Let's get to building, like stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, you know, and when you build up a large following too, and I was, you know, me and your dad were talking about building up a following, building up a strong CRM system. Okay, and we are providing, we're going to be helping you out with building out your CRM system. So we're really excited for that, because once you have somebody invest with you, you should have their information, give them a chance to follow you, right, on your journey, and donate again. Those are your number one people.
Oh, and I love TikTok, so I want to be like an influencer there, like influencer for good and stuff. And like, yeah. And
How many followers you got?
I think it's 200,000 on TikTok.
200,000.
Give me 1 second.
Everybody on this chat is in here is struggling trying to get a couple hundred followers on TikTok and Instagram. You're over here with 200,000.
And this is, wait.
Yeah.
That's my TikTok.
Push towards the camera.
You gotta push it towards the camera.
Oh.
No, camera's over there.
Right. Oh, one of my videos is playing. Yeah. So it's, you can just see like a bunch of colors right now.
It looks good. It looks better than mine. I have a bunch of talking heads, so I'm changing it. You know, the more I hang out with her, the more ideas actually I have for social media. It's kind of crazy. Let's see. I don't have an account.
Yes.
So follow her. Okay, follow her. Everybody should be following her and being inspired and follow her journey. Okay, and she's now my Snapchat manager.
Yes.
She's got me up to a 60-something snap score. Nick was very impressed in one day.
No, it's up at like 100 now.
100. My Snapchat score is at 100.
90,000. So our goal
90,000.
Yeah, our next goal is to be at 90,000.
Oh my God.
You
Okay.
can just buy it, but it's better to grow it naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy snaps. Okay, create and build a safe, clean community for the homeless. That's what I want to do. Okay, so you already got 2044. That's a long time. I think she should go for like in the next couple terms. I think we're good.
Free monkey videos and lollipops for all. Oh yeah, I also run my own car club.
She runs her own car club.
It's called
Oh my God.
It's called Charity Car Club, and we do like a giveaway every single week and stuff. I love cars. My dream car is black Bugatti.
Black Bugatti.
but there's only like 7 of them in the world, so maybe a different goal. But
No, actually, keep that goal.
keeping that goal, because it's going to happen. And that's our new mindset for 2023.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love cars. I'm very passionate about that. And you can check out my car club on Instagram. It's at Charity Car Club. So
At
yes.
Charity Car Club.
Car Club. And we were going to be putting, like, we had a little in and out drive-through event for the homeless, and we did like a food drive. And we
Wow.
took like a yellow and a red Lamborghini through the drive-through, since the colors of in and out are red and yellow.
Wow. I'm shocked. I didn't know about that. So what else? Anything else that you can shock us with what you're up to? What other big goals you got? What other big things
I'm
you
trying
got?
to think. I have to make just a giant list of all my goals. Oh, we should show me the check.
Oh yeah. Here.
And the flip part is.
This is how much that we raised so far. Wait, hold on, the light is like flaring.
Down.
Right there.
That way. There you go.
The $7 challenge. $100,000 for Feeding America.
Also, if you guys let's pull up that thing of who's in the lead individually for Feeding America. Let's look at the list of Feeding America with the list
Wait, I don't have it on my phone.
Team
It's
Feed.
on yours.
for Team
For
Feed.
The very first, the
You
top
gotta
person.
Hold up.
Oh yeah, wait,
How do I find it?
Got a team feed.
we'll figure it out.
Okay, Team Feed. Let's see. It's being pulled up on the online. We want to see where she's at.
Where do I
You
get?
guys scroll all the way down. Keep scrolling.
At the bottom.
Oh, you hit the bottom.
92 snap score.
You gotta do,
92.
it's online. Is that team feed?
America.
You gotta do team feed.
Okay, Team Feed.
That's my dad.
Go down. I guess it's
Oh
on the
my
table.
foot.
That one's team feed.
Hopefully people aren't taking pictures of my feet.
Teamfeed.feedingamerica.org. Or do you want, should I just go to Team Feed?
Yeah, go to team feed.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry, we weren't prepared about this. I just kind of threw this out there.
You could share some of your flip part.
Team Feed leaderboard, maybe?
Yeah, maybe that's.
Alex, Premier.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm just gonna just break it to you guys. Number 2 is actually no. I wish we could get the top 5. It would be more interesting, but let's just for the sake of time.
Come up on the phone.
Number 2 is Tony Robbins. Okay, number 2 is Tony Robbins. Guess who's number 1?
Our work. Do you want to help?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's go back to the Zoom. There's people in the waiting room as well. That we just.
Today.
Oh, you did your hair. She
No,
did.
no.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, so
Hairstylist credits.
number 1 ever. Number 2, Tony Robbins. I think that's like just something that's incredibly fantastic and inspiring. So I'm committed. Okay, I hope you guys can all commit and get behind this as well to following Ever and endorsing her, meaning that, you know, when she puts out her following her on her social media, following her journey, and opting into her CRM when it comes out tomorrow, and 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 connect with her on LinkedIn. She just opened up a LinkedIn yesterday.
Oh.
With Faisal.
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 Faisal started.
Faisal is incredible with LinkedIn.
Yes.
Like the things that he talked about LinkedIn, I've never heard before. I'm definitely gonna have him on one of these calls on one of these days. He actually asked for me to fly out to Europe and do a live conference with him. So maybe we can go to Europe next.
Is Natalia home yet?
Yeah. Natalia, are you home yet?
Hi, Natalia.
Yes, hi. You were my highlight of the conference, I gotta say.
You are mine too. Making it Bitmoji was so fun. And listening to Tom Brady, that was so cool.
Yeah.
You know, you've inspired me to sponsor a child's every conference I attend. So that was the
You know what?
impact you made.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, so let's all, you know, the theme of today that Ever has really shared with us is go to these conferences. I
And
would never
become
have met
friends
her.
with Child.
And become friends with a child, with a teen. So I'm gonna sponsor a teen to every conference, and let's all make a pact to do so. Let's all do that. What else? Oh, somebody's in the waiting room. Oh, I know. So follow us in the next couple days. We're gonna be doing some really cool things. She's gonna be showing me the ropes on what she does, and we're gonna make.
Or should it be a surprise?
Hmm,
Yeah, they gotta watch.
Oh
I
yeah,
gotta watch.
you have to. It's so amazing that you have to watch to find out. It's gonna be like a little surprise.
Okay, let's see. You two are awesome. Oh, yes, Nick, you were great too, man. You were really cool. It was really great hanging with you. And I look forward to getting to know you better too. Okay, what else? We got a couple more minutes, 5 more minutes. This is your chance. She's gonna be really big one day, and you're gonna say that we were on Alex's Monday night shenanigans and and got a chance to meet and speak to Ever. So you can also raise your hand. If you raise your hand, you can actually talk and talk to
Somebody
Ever.
said something.
Okay. What do you expect in your friends or the people you hang out with?
Okay, that's a good question. One thing is like, this may sound a little bad, but it actually won't sound bad. Just so that way, like, a lot of my friends, they aren't like troublemakers, because some of my friends have troublemakers, and you don't really want to be surrounding yourself with those type of people because they could inspire you to do bad things, and you want to be inspired to have good friends, like surround yourself with good people who are inspiring you to do good things.
And you're inspiring other people to do things.
Like my friend Ella, she's a singer, and then my friend Benji, he's a dancer, like things that are awesome, like and then my friend Sophie, she's a pianist, like all these things are awesome. I'm just like, something when you're making friends, you just want to make sure you're not like becoming friends with people who are bad influences. So
Yes. So again, it's kind of like the same concepts of proximity and who you hang out with.
oh yeah.
Do you have positive affirmations, or say, how do you handle disappointments?
Like positive affirmations, like how people say in the morning to themselves.
Like, I'm great. Today's gonna be a great day. And
Motivational accounts on like my little serial entrepreneur show TikTok, and I follow like motivational accounts like with things that inspire you, and I watch those in the morning sometimes, or just like throughout the day. So those are really good. You should follow those type of accounts.
what are some accounts? Who are some accounts?
Let me see.
Someone says, do you meditate? Her following these entrepreneurs and motivational people is probably their way of meditating.
Wait, let me
It's a
pull
new
it.
age meditation.
Okay, there's one called CN. It's Conquer Motivation, but it's spelled CNQR motivational, and it's like videos like this. Oh, it literally just says work harder and has like a cool song in the background. And then like this one, time is running out. If you really want to achieve your goals, then now's the time. Get to work. They're a little, some of them those are like the not as harsh ones. Some of them are just harsh. And it's just like, okay, I gotta listen to the screen telling me to do this right now. So yeah, motivational accounts are really good.
That's powerful.
Talk to them about starting small, because I think that can.
And starting small. That's like, I started not only small, like actually, because I started off when I was 7, but just starting small, like selling, like I sold my lollipops at like coffee shops, like Starbucks is, and I just like got to like network with people, and like I sell my lollipops on like Saturdays and Sundays from like 9 to or like 10 to 3 or something. But it's like the people that you meet out there, like starting small, like you could just have one instant connection, and like I met you, like so like when I'm selling my lollipops, I could just meet one person, and they'll be like, oh, I have a conference you could come speak at. and then I'll get to speak in front of all those people, and then afterwards they'll come up to you and be like, I have this thing and I'd love for you to be a part of it. And it just like keeps going. It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah. Robert from Shark Tank, he was talking about how looking back at his life to seeing all the dots that connected and brought him to where he is. And it's just extraordinary when you're able to look back at your life and connect those dots. That's how you actively connect those dots, is when you go and you take a chance and you do the uncomfortable thing and you sell lollipops at a coffee shop. And then one thing leads to another, leads to speaking on stage with Gary Vee for, in front of 6,000 people at the age of 8. And now having such a big influence, and you're growing on social media.
Yes.
So as you're taking in the motivational things, now you have like a responsibility to share good with people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
There needs to be more good on the internet.
There needs
In
to be
my
more
opinion,
good
in
on
my
the internet. There are a lot of good. You gotta just find them and seek them out.
Just
Like Ever Matson. Like if you go on Instagram at Ever Matson, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know about Snapchat. You gotta be friends with her to be on Snapchat. She got a 90,000 Snapchat score with just her friends.
But you can't find my account because it's only it's like a private
Right. So, but
profile. So you have to go follow. Wait, let's find your username. Alex Lovely is your username. You should probably
Get
turn
it to
on.
100,000.
Yes. This is this is wait, it's not coming up. This is like his little Bitmoji. Make sure to go follow and send him a friend request at Alex Lovely. Our streak is about to run out. We're gonna lose our streak.
Okay, there's more messages, Nick. We're gonna take one more question, and then we're gonna give you guys breakout room, and then follow us for the next couple days as we go out and do some amazing things. Do you ever plan to mentor little kids?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're talking about, Nick and some of the other amazing teens like Kyle and Pedro and Ever leading a teen mastermind.
I absolutely, that's one of my goals, is to inspire and mentor younger kids.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like their Gary Vee when they're my age.
She's gonna be their Gary Vee.
Be keeping it PG-13.
We'll see. So that's another mic drop right there. So there was a couple that she said we're all connected, right? And then there is get homeschooled.
That's right.
And now be somebody's Gary Vee. You're gonna be someone's Gary Vee. I think that's a great goal to strive for. That's an awesome dream. Okay. That's it. We're gonna give you guys the opportunity to break out into different breakout rooms and network with each other. Okay, so this is a really important part. We talked about all this, but this is the moment that you get to meet somebody else. Okay, you get to meet somebody else and let them impact your life. So in a room at GrowthCon, we got to meet. So
Oh yeah.
go out. Go out and meet each other. So break everybody out to their rooms. Go talk to each other, share. So they're all gonna go into their other rooms and converse and meet.
Oh, you would sure be one by one. Say goodbye to the recording, guys.
Bye, recording.